Hi honey bunnies, it's Chantel Cabrera and I'm back with another video today. This is actually a video I've been meaning to film for months now. I meant to do it when I was originally healing from the surgery, but I thought better late than never. It's been just over 6 months since I did have the procedure done, and I just wanted to share my experience for those of you that are curious about it or plan on having it in the future. So if you guys see me looking down, it's because I wrote notes down. And I don't want to miss anything because I know this is like a really important topic for many people. So I just thought I'd start off by just explaining a little bit about me and my background and what made me want to pursue the gender reassignment surgery. So like I said, I'm Chantel. I'm from California. I am a twin, and I pretty much knew I was different from other people very early on in life because when I want to say maybe 7 or 8, I started having my first like crushes, and they were obviously boys. Or not obviously, but I was attracted to boys, and at that time I was a little boy myself. So yeah, I always felt that I was different. I felt that people judged me for it, but obviously I wasn't really gonna like come out as like a kid, although that would be hella cool if I did. It's like living my life thinking that I was like a gay boy. But around high school is when I started feeling really like dissatisfied with that, I guess, answer that I was giving to myself, that I was a gay male, because I guess deep down, I really didn't feel that I was male. I was definitely female. I want to say that my like breakthrough moment with this was when I was 17. It was right before I started my senior year of high school. Me and my dad had gotten into an argument, and it pretty much led to us like never talking again. Like literally after that, the only time I've ever talked to him after was for him to like yell at me or something, but I haven't had like a genuine conversation with him. Anyways, so that was pretty much like the point in my life where I was like, oh, I don't have to pretty much live up to your standards. I don't have to like make you happy. I could do whatever I want, because I knew he was pretty judgmental when it came to just LGBT community and everything. He's like pretty conservative, very machista. We're from Mexico. I did tell my brother, and this was right, like I said, right before I started high school, and I was all like, by the way, I'm like trans. And he's all like, okay, like honestly, I saw it coming, like have you not seen it before? And I found that crazy because like he really felt that with me. And I always liked girl clothing, like stereotypical girl things like makeup and things like that, but I just didn't really understand the concept of being transgender. Caitlyn Jenner's documentary came out, I want to say my sophomore year of high school. That's when I really decided to delve into the whole idea of what it was to be transgender, and I related to it so much. I remember watching that documentary with my brother and one of our friends at the time, and I was like, this is so eye-opening, but I obviously didn't really say much during it. I was just more like shook in my head. Fast forward, I want to say fall of that year, so 2015, I decided to go ahead and book a appointment with my physician, just my family physician, the one I've been seeing for years. And yeah, so I was 17 at the time, so I was underage, and I did not tell my mom the reason for it, but I just pulled up and I essentially just told my doctor, and she was super like loving, and she always has been, very sweet woman. And she's like, okay, I love that for you. But she didn't really have much experience with gender dysphoric clients or anything like that. So she actually referred me to a gender specialist, and that's also one of my main doctors now, and I love her so much. And essentially I couldn't start anything, like I couldn't start hormones without parent consent. And like I said, I was 17 and my parents were pretty conservative, so I was like, fuck that, I'll just wait till I turn 18. It was just around the corner. I turned 18 in March, and I think around that time of that appointment was maybe October. So it was just a couple months, and I was 17, it was fine. I was just gonna live through my senior year, and then I planned to just like do my damn thing and just live my life. And that's exactly what I did. I want to say I started hormones May of 2016, so that was like a month before I graduated. And right when I graduated, that's when, literally right when I graduated, I started living my life as a woman, like female. And I feel like my neighbors definitely like peeped that, and they're like, oh, like what? Like pretty interesting. Like nobody was mean about it, obviously. Like I come from a very like, I would think it's very open. I'm from the Bay, so people were really just like accepting of the idea, especially people I went to school with, which was great. I'm on hormones, I'm like living my life. I come out at Pride of that year, and literally the best decision I've ever made in my life. Yeah. For those of you guys that don't know, the whole, I guess, transgender experience with like hospitals and everything, it's a process and it's very like slow. You have to be patient. It was really hard for me because I'm not a patient person. I want what I want and I want it now. That's the type of person I am. But my doctors were like really understanding of that. Like obviously if they were able to push things faster, they obviously did or would. And at one point, my trans physician actually did. I met up with a surgeon, a very world-renowned one, and she was great. Met her in south of San Francisco, and she pretty much broke my heart when she told me that the wait list for this surgery would be 3 years. And I think I was 19 at the time, and I was like, oh sis, like that's not gonna work for me. So I told my trans physician that it was too long. I was like, I don't even know if I would have insurance by like that time. So like, could we like refer me to another doctor? And she was super understanding. She obviously did. She's like, yeah, 3 years is crazy. And I got the referral for a different surgeon. So I met another one in San Francisco this time, and she's great. Both of my surgeons were great. So I met this woman, I want to say April of 2019, so last year, and it was like a dream come true for me. So met her in San Francisco. We just had like just pretty much everything about me, like my electrolysis and just seeing like psychiatrists and psychologists for my gender dysphoria. She made my dreams come true when she told me that we could book my surgery for the end of that year, so December. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. So we booked it, but I had scheduling conflicts with school, so then we switched it to January 15th, which I actually still had school during that time. But my plan originally was to just get the surgery and then like after a week go back to school, which I definitely did not tell my doctor. Dates were coming closer to the surgery. I actually started the winter quarter at my school a week or two before my surgery date. So literally 4 days before, I was like, yep, I'm going to school. I don't care. Like if I miss a week, it's fine. I had surgery. Like they'll be good to me, even though like I feel like the professors would still be assholes. About 4 days into the surgery, that's when I told my godparents, I was living with them at the time. I told my godparents, I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go to school. And they're like, honestly, like we saw that coming because it's like a major surgery. Like you're funny for thinking that you could be good after a week. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I quickly decided to withdraw from the quarter, take a medical leave, and withdrew from housing and everything. Honestly, that was fine. Then fast forward to January 13th, the day before my surgery, best friend came over and she was gonna take me to my surgery the next morning. So we were like staying up, packing, like I did the most. Like I'll insert some snaps right now. Like I had a rolling suitcase that I was taking to a hospital. Like, bitch, obviously you were just gonna stay in a nightgown. Like, I don't know why I thought I needed like 10 outfits for this, thinking it was like a spa day. And yeah, so essentially like for that surgery, you are prescribed a bunch of medication because like you need antibiotics, narcotics, opiates, a bunch of things to make sure that you heal fine. Next day, January 14th, this is the surgery day, girl. So January 14th, we wake up at 5 a.m. because I want to say my surgery was at 6:30. So we wake up at 5 a.m., we take the little drive. Love my friend, by the way, it was Abby. Abby, if you're watching, I love you so much. That's literally like family right there. Yeah, we pull up in the whip to the medical center for my surgery. I pull up, I'm like, at this point, like a bunch of people were asking me like, oh, are you like scared? Like it was my first surgery like ever, period. Like not even just with like trans procedures, but it was just my first surgery ever. So like I was a little bit nervous for that. I'd never been put under, but like honestly, when you know you want something in life and feel like you need it, fear will go away like pretty quickly. So I did it and I was like, I know I'm not gonna regret this. And I pull up, everything's good. Meet my my doctors there, some nurses, really very sweet staff. And then my anesthesiologist. So this is when they start rolling me in and everything. And My anesthesiologist was very hot, by the way. Yeah, so I wake up, I want to say at like 3 or 4 p.m. and I'm so happy. Like literally, I tear up a little. I'm like so happy that it finally happened, and like I'm not in pain at all, probably because of like the morphine that they put me on or whatever they put me on. And like I'm getting like a little teary-eyed right now because like I just remember feeling so happy and like kind of complete in my life with that. So I start FaceTiming my friends. My godparents come to the hospital that night and they're like really excited for me. They pull up with like a bunch of things for like aftercare for me. Then my brother comes, and after the actual like plastic surgery center, I was sent off in an ambulance to, not because I was dying, but like because I just needed to be moved to a different place. This was a rehabilitation center after the fact. So my brother leaves with me. He comes and picks me up. Or was my brother there? Actually, he might have not been there, just kidding. So it was my nurses, I think. So then we get to the new surgery center and I'm hyped. Like, I'm so happy. Like, obviously I'm in pain, but like, I'm like on a narcotic. So like, for the most part, I was good. There was only one time I was in so much pain that my vision went black and I almost passed out. But that's because I was standing, and whenever like the doctors and nurses would come, or just the nurses would come to ask me if I needed oxycodone or Percocets, I'd be like, no, I'm like fine right now. But then they like told me like after that happened, they're like, girl, we know you're just gonna push through this and everything, but you can't do that or else like you'll literally pass out and things. And I was like, okay, fine. That's when I started to have to take the medication more. So after that, a bunch of my other friends come, like my friend Gabby, literally one of my best friends. And then my brother comes too. Gabby came twice because she went with someone else, and then with my brother. So then my brother comes and sees me. They're like so excited for me. My boo came. That was cool. And I want to say I had other friends come too. If not, then they definitely came to my house after the fact. But yeah, I was just like so happy at that point. My nurses were like living for me. I was just like exchanging my stories with them, and they were telling me that like they were so proud of me and everything, and I was like, thanks girl, like same. So I forgot to mention this earlier, but the week before I went in for surgery, I looked up things to know about your vaginoplasty, because I literally didn't really know much. I was like, yeah, I know that I'm gonna be like bleeding and like having a freaking pussy a while, but I was like, okay, fuck, like I need to like look up something so I'm not like taken by surprise. So there was this one girl, I'm gonna bring this up so I don't get it wrong. So I found this YouTuber called Stacy Fatimi, and her video was titled 101 Things to Expect from Vaginoplasty. And that video was so helpful. It pretty much told me about like dilation, just like random things that like non-cis females before the having surgery wouldn't really know, like about like pad use and tampons, and just mentioning that just a bunch of other helpful tips like because of the surgery, and she had it too. I think by the time she recorded that video, she had been post-op for a year. So it was really helpful. I'll link it down below for anybody else that wants to see it. Let's cut to now. So it's been just over 6 months since I had surgery, and I'm so happy with it. I literally have no regrets with it because, like I said, it was something that I knew I felt that I needed in my life. And like, not to say that I felt that needing the vaginoplasty was necessary for me to become a woman, but it was just something for me because I was so gender dysphoric. It was just so hard for me because when I was pre-op, when it came to things like tucking, like it made me so emotional because I hated like having those body parts prior to my surgery. And I always felt like it was in a constant like limbo stage in my life. I was like, I knew that this body I was given, I know it was a reservoir and everything, and I loved it, but it was just hard for me to feel comfortable in it, I guess. And then with the surgery after the fact, when I was pre-op, I always felt the need to be so done up. Like, obviously I'm wearing makeup right now and like have a cute outfit or whatever. But back then it was like times like 100, because I swear whenever I went out, like my hair was always styled, like always had makeup on, mini skirts, like cute ass outfits. And what's funny is that like for the actual surgery, I needed to buy sweatpants because I didn't even own sweatpants, because like I always thought they were too like boyish for me. After the surgery, I feel like I'm so much more like, not androgynous, but just more like fluid in a sense, because like back then I feel like I would be like the most girly out of like my friends or whatever, but now I'm just like more tomboy. Like obviously I still like to be doing like stereotypical girl shit, but now it's not really something that I feel makes me feel like a boy again. If I do like boy things, like wear boys clothes or say bra, like, you know what I mean? I don't care. Those are like really interesting. The actual surgery, I know I like glossed over that, but I'll say I want to say the first 2 weeks were really painful for me, and I have a very high pain tolerance. Like my first electrolysis sessions, which is like the laser hair removal you need to do for the surgery, I did it without like any numbing cream, and I want to say I did the first 5 to like 8 sessions without it, and then until it got to a point where it was like painful for me, because like I would have chills, but then I'd be sweating, like your body like goes in shock kinda. So obviously that was painful, but went through so many sessions, fuck, but it was for a greater cause. And what was most painful after the first week was having the packing like sewn into you. Like I don't really know how to explain it exactly, but the reason for the packing is so that your vagina doesn't close, and not the suture, but the I forgot the specific word, but I'll like put it up here. But it's essentially like sewn into you, and it hurts so bad, bitch. Like it's stapled. It hurts so bad, and you could pretty much only be like straight with that, because like if you try to like sit down, like it would pierce you. It would hurt so bad. But not to scare you or anything. Like, bitch, you have your Percocets and oxycodone, like you'll be fine. And if I could do it, you could do it, I swear. So yeah, that was really painful for me. And then I want to say like the second and third week, it was still painful, but it was in a different sense, because like that gauze was horrible. But, or not gauze, but that, whatever the fuck was stapled into me, that hurt so bad. It's like on your pussy, but like on your skin. It's like weird. And I forgot exactly what was the pain like after the fact, but obviously it hurt down there. To the point where like my godparents would be like worried for me, because I was like, like, no, I'm just gonna stay in here. I'm in too much pain, because like I'm not gonna have dinner, and like they'd be worried. But honestly, bitch, I was fine. So yeah, I would say that was the most fucking annoying thing about it. And another annoying thing actually was the catheter. The catheter, yeah. So essentially, after the first week, you like go to your post-op visit, and like they could take out the catheter if you're able to pee, but like a lot of girls aren't able to because they're super swollen. So I go in there, I'm thinking like, bitch, I'm finna pee, let's go. But when you have a new body, it's like really weird. So essentially you need like your brain to like focus with your like body parts, like because you're not used to them. And it was like really hard for me to get in that like rhythm of like how to pee. Like it was fucking weird. I was not able to pee after that, and I was so sad because I had to put another catheter in. But this one was much smaller, so like it was more low key, but it was still annoying. But yeah, so I would say those two were the most annoying things about it. And then, oh, another annoying thing though was like you can't exercise or like do strenuous activity, like swim, submerge yourself in water, like in a bath, for 3 months after. So something that's like really cool for me is that like I loved myself throughout my entire journey. Like obviously I felt uncomfortable at certain stages of my life, but like back then, like I was a teen, like obviously most people are like that. So I was lucky enough to have like my brothers support me, like literally all my friends, just random ass people supporting me, and that was everything to me. But I know a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to have that. But for that, I just want to say that like you could be your own cheerleader, and when you accomplish something on your own that you know is like your path in life, is gonna feel so much better for you. It's like everything. It's gonna make you feel so happy, and don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks about you, because I never did. If I did, do you think I would transition? No. So that's something I say a lot too for people that ask me, like, oh, like, do you care about what people say? And like, honestly, most everybody's like that I've experienced is like pretty like woke and like not stupid. So I'm like pretty lucky with that. The only like time that it's a problem is like certain like guys when I date, but like I don't give a fuck. So if you're curious, I actually have not orgasmed yet, but that's because I haven't really tried to. Like, I get bored easily. So when my doctor told me to like, oh, like, try to like stimulate yourself, like I do it for like 5 minutes, but then I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I know this is a really tough and emotional process for many. It was for me, but like I said, when you keep a positive mindset in life and surround yourself with people that are genuinely good and support you for anything you do, it's gonna lift you up. Like, even with all the horrible things that surround trans people with violence. I know that the highest statistic for murder is trans Black women, just like trans people of color, which is like really dangerous. So that's why I know that a lot of the girls like seek to get surgeries just to feel safe, which is so crazy because like I'm lucky enough to live in California where most of the places here like accept you regardless. I don't regret that surgery whatsoever. Yeah, guys, so that's pretty much my story. That's where I am right now at 6 months. How it looks right now, I feel like it looks really cute. Like, it's not super swollen, but I want to say the labia is still semi-R, but it's nothing bad at all. Like, it doesn't scare me when I look at it, because like originally when I got that shit done and I had to dilate, I like put a camera up there like to stick it in, and girl, it was like a scene from a horror film. Not a vibe. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much my story and where I am in life. I'll definitely do more videos like this. I'll do a year update for sure. And yeah, just let you know, because it was something that was so important for me, and I know it's important for a lot of people that are going to go through this journey. Leave any video suggestions you guys have, whatever you guys want to know. Like, comment down if you guys have any questions. I'll respond to you. And yeah, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Whenever you're watching this, just know that you are your own person and you create what you want in your life, which is something that is for sure what I did. And I'm gonna do much more things. Like, I'm only 22 and I went through this like crazy journey, but I'm so happy with it. And now I have like the rest of my life to look forward to. So yeah, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, guys. Make sure to turn on your post notifications, and I'll come back with another video really soon. Okay? Love you guys.